Welcome in Dynasty fam. Going to be talking about our week 8 waiver wire ads for your Dynasty team. We were up a little bit later tonight. We were up watching our Minnesota Vikings defeat those San Francisco 49ers. Finally, we get a chance to wear the chain. We got this chain last season at the end of the season. If we had a good win, we were going to wear it this season. Had not had any good wins, have been terrible so far, but got a good win today, so we're able to wear the chain. So again, guys, thank you guys for tuning in. Now jumping into our week 8 waiver wire ads. As always, we're going to start with players that should be rostered right now in your fantasy season or on your fantasy teams. In your leagues, we have should be 50% plus roster, Daryl Henderson. Obviously, good week for Daryl Henderson, guys. For those Rams right now, it was up in the air who was going to be the running back or the lead dog there. So there was talks about Zach Evans. That's kind of what we were hoping for, guys. But not going to be Zach Evans after all. He got 0 touches. Didn't even think he got a snap. We had Daryl Henderson and Royce Freeman were the only people to take carries there out of that backfield. But Daryl Henderson, straight off the street, guys, comes in, gets 18 carries. He got 1 TD on the ground, 13.6 fantasy points. So looking like he is the lead dog right now in that backfield for the Rams. Could even increase opportunity, guys, as the season continues. We'll see how it goes, but definitely Daryl Henderson should be rostered, 63% rostered, so possibly he's out there. And then you have Leonard Fournette, guys, just because multiple teams kind of were rumored in being interested in Leonard Fournette. Nothing really happened or manifested. There was talk of the Bills, him maybe getting a tryout for the Bills about a week or two ago. Didn't happen. But the Bills were interested. The Rams, Niners, and also the Lions. Those are all teams that were rumored to be interested in Leonard Fournette. So there's some teams that are kind of struggling at the running back position, even the Vikings a little bit, right? So you never know. He's just a good veteran back. The trade deadline is coming up soon. If teams don't maybe make a move and they want to add a cheap, inexpensive veteran to their backfield, you could have Leonard Fournette joining someone pretty soon, guys. So once he does, might get a good little jump in value. Then for the wide receivers, guys, Trey Palmer, we talk about him all the time, but just a handcuff to Mike Evans with the hamstring injuries, and now also you have Chris Godwin also dealing with the maybe possibly a neck issue. So Trey Palmer, 62% rostered. If you want to take a flyer, go ahead and grab him or stash him away. Hunter Renfrow also, guys, just because he's been in the trade talks recently right now, you have Trey Tucker pretty much took over that position there, his position there in Las Vegas. So right now you have Hunter Renfrow. If he lands in a good spot and gets on the trade block, someone that could have a bump in value pretty soon. Then you have for the quarterback position, we have Aiden O'Connell, guys. Pretty much Brian Hoyer just came out. He got the start, but he just straight up stunk this week. So Aiden O'Connell, guys, came in there, got the TD in the fourth. He may get the start, pretty much going to get the start in week 8 if Jimmy G is out again. He's got a good matchup against Detroit Lions, who are 8th in fantasy points allowed to the QB position. They allow 22 points per game to the QB position. And also Tyson Badgett, guys, he got the W. Had a good game versus Las Vegas as well. 21 completions out of 29 for 162 yards. So not bad, right? Just managed the game, didn't really make mistakes. 1 TD, rush for 3, rush for 24 yards. So not bad. We'll get the Chargers next week. He didn't have to do much, though, guys, because they had Deontay Foreman going beast mode on the ground out of nowhere. So Aiden O'Connell and Tyson Badgett. I think Tyson Badgett, if he's out there, he might be a decent stash. It doesn't look like it's already Fields is pretty much already doubtful for week 8. Then you have Taysom Hill, guys, just back-to-back weeks with 10 plus fantasy points. Gets 5 targets this week, 4 for 50. Then he gets 5 carries for 18 yards with the touchdown on the ground. 16.8 fantasy points. So worth noting, guys, you have Jawan Johnson could return soon from the IR. So something just to keep an eye on. But Taysom Hill, if he's out there, maybe a decent stash. Okay, guys, so now we're going to go into the lower owned players. Actually, guys, thank you guys for tuning in and supporting the show. If you want to support the show, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment if you like the videos that we are bringing. Also, guys, if you're into prop bets, sports betting, you can download the Thrive Fantasy app. The link is in our description. and use the promo code DynastyFam. You get 100% deposit match anywhere from $25 to $250. And we'll be giving you guys free prop bets as well. This week was, or actually for Monday night, it was Brock Purdy. Just the line was set at 0.5 passing yards for new users. And then also, again, guys, thank you for supporting the Dynasty Fam by checking out and watching our videos. Now going into the deeper dive, guys, 50% rostered. Below 50% roster, we have Pierre Strong. Definitely like Pierre Strong, guys. He's kind of someone that we've had on here before. And right now, guys, we have Jerome Ford dealing with a low-grade high ankle sprain. So it's said that he's going to miss a couple weeks. Pierre Strong also, guys, this week out-snapped Kareem Hunt. He had 22 snaps to Kareem Hunt's 20. He had less carries, right, 8 to Kareem Hunt's 10, but he did run 2 more routes. So worth noting in that Browns backfield, if Jerome Ford's out a couple more weeks, Pierre Strong stuff definitely someone that you want to scoop up off the waiver wire. Then you have Chase Edmonds, guys. This is kind of under the radar flyer, but he's basically set to return from IR already if they want to activate him. He was already the RB2 early on before his injury, right? And Vaughn and Tucker have really shown nothing to keep that RB2 spot, guys, in my opinion, from Edmonds. They both have been very underwhelming, right? Tucker lost the job to, well, first Vaughn lost it, then Tucker lost it again. Vaughn's been in there not doing much again. And Rashad White as well has struggled on the ground as well. He's kind of been saved by that receiving production. So Edmonds just a decent flyer at the RB position, 40% rostered right now in Dynasty leagues. Then we have Royce Freeman, guys. We don't love him, but he's getting touches in that Rams backfield. So Royce Freeman definitely someone that you could add. I prefer Pierre Strong and probably even Edmonds over Royce Freeman, but I mean he is one injury away from Darrell Henderson from maybe being the lead dog there. So Royce Freeman's still worth a stash or the ad. Then you have Darrington Evans, guys, only 11% rostered. So I don't love Darrington Evans this week just because I think he's someone that he's more of a stash. I wouldn't add him or put any money on him or put any fab on him, but I would just someone that I would monitor. Like if I woke up in the morning and all these players are gone, I want to just take a flyer. Darrington Evans, I think, is a decent one. So he got 14 carries and 3 targets in week 7. So definitely a good workload in week 7. Got 17 opportunities, basically 17 touches. It looks like Roshan's basically trending towards possibly playing in week 8. So that's why I don't really love spending much on Darrington Evans. But like I said, if you miss out on your guys, right, someone that to definitely monitor on your waiver wire and pick him up in the morning, and then you can see, hey, maybe by chance Roshan's out again, and Darrington Evans can step into some more opportunity for week 8. Then at the wide receiver position, guys, I think probably one of my favorite ads, but Jawan Jennings right now, only 29% rostered. So Debo is set to miss another week, guys. He has a hairline fracture in his shoulder. So Jawan Jennings got 9 targets tonight against Minnesota, got 54 yards. So 5 receptions for 54 yards. So basically close to 11 fantasy points. So Jawan Jennings, definitely someone that you could stash away for this next coming weeks if Debo is going to be out again. And then also if Debo comes back, right, maybe someone to just kind of keep an eye on. Debo is very physical, right? Very physical wide receiver. So Jawan Jennings definitely worth the stash. Now, my favorite ad at the wide receiver position. So the ones with asterisks, guys, the players with asterisks are my favorite ads for that position. So Demario Douglas, 48% rostered. He's already popped a little bit, guys. So had some good buzz in preseason, also training camp. Basically, he's beat out Juju, guys. He beat out Juju early on. He was earning more snaps he's earned more snaps in a few games already than Juju. Then Juju now also is injured. And Douglas this week, guys, was second in routes. He's also he's also really produced without really playing much, right? And now he was second in routes this week. He ran more routes than Devontae Parker. He was 25 routes to Devontae Parker's 19. He saw 6 targets, guys, and he went 4 for 54. He also got a carry for 20 yards, guys. So he's someone that definitely has some upside, speedy guy, gadget type of guy that they could use in their offense. And I think he's already received also like some good praise from Bill Belichick as well as Kendrick Bourne. So someone that they definitely like in that locker room. And I think someone that you should probably add, right? If he's not already on your roster. We've already talked about him a couple times, but someone that you should probably add if he's out there. I definitely like Demario Douglas right now going forward. Then you have Brandon Powell, guys, kind of been on our waiver wire show already, but he just continued to get snaps, right? Pretty much third in snaps for the Vikings pretty much since Justin Jefferson has been gone. He got 5 targets today, went 4 for 64, also got a rushing attempt for 5 yards. So just the Vikings, the high passing volume that they have, right? And then maybe if something were to happen to KJ or Addison, you might get a good bump in value for Powell. Now at the bottom, guys, we have Mecole Hardman. Pretty much lands in a familiar spot. We had him on our video last week just because someone to stash away if he was on the trade block and there were rumors already swirling around. So we had him on our waiver wire show last week. Someone to add and just to take a flyer on, see if he lands in a good spot or better spot, obviously, that's going to use him more than the New York Jets were. And that definitely happened, guys. He lands in KC, a familiar spot for him. Already in his first game, he got 3 targets in his first game back just on 16% snaps. Also, guys, earlier today, I believe, or yesterday, Justin Ross was arrested. I'm not sure quite on the details, but he was arrested, so he is a little bit in trouble right now with the law, possibly even his team, I'm sure. Then you have Kadarius Toney dealing with the toe injury. Justin Watson was out as well this week with an elbow injury. So Hardman is someone that could get some opportunity on the field as early as this next week for KC, guys. Now for the QB tight end position, number one ad for the QB position would be Tyrod Taylor. He gets the dub, guys, versus the Commanders. 21.66 fantasy points, 18 completions for 279 yards, guys. So pretty much almost those for 300 yards. Gets you 2 TDs passing, then goes 8 rushes for 25 yards on the ground. So Jones dealing with a neck injury. Taylor will have a difficult matchup this next week, guys, against the Jets, but definitely someone with the rushing upside that you could add for your fantasy roster that could help you out maybe in that super flex spot for week 8. Then another guy that we like, guys, for this coming week is going to be Malik Willis. He was out on our waiver wire video last week, but just Tannehill, guys, dealing with a high ankle sprain. And Malik Willis right now, he's less rostered than Will Levis. Will Levis is like at 75% roster, something like that. Malik Willis is only 45% rostered, but pretty much is slated as the backup right now. We'll see how it shakes out, but he's the one that got some relief time in the last week. And then you have this week coming up. Looks like it might be Malik Willis as well in week 8. So someone that you could definitely add, and we'll see. He's got the rushing upside, definitely got a lot of athletic ability, can throw the deep ball too. So we'll see what happens. But Malik Willis, definitely someone I think that you should add if he's on your waiver wire right now, especially in super flex leagues, guys. And then the last one we have, guys, Daniel Bellinger, 39% rostered, but he's just pretty much a handcuff for Darren Waller if something were to happen to Darren Waller, who's been a little bit older, guys, kind of dealing with some nagging injuries this week. So just a flyer and a stash for you for your fantasy rosters, guys. So that is all I have for you today, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the show and good luck on your waiver wire this week.